Now it says here that Lionsgate Home Entertainment, which also owns the DVD rights to the Rambo films, has released the entire series on DVD in Region 1 in 6-volume sets. So that may be something I want to get my hands on, these DVD releases. 6 volumes, Volume 1, A World of Trouble, Volume 2, Enter the Dragon, Volume 3, Savage Island, Volume 4, Up in Arms, Volume 5, Snow Road, and Volume 6, Face of Freedom. It's weird because you would think that they would put the mini-series ahead of that as its own. Maybe put out these 6 volumes, but with the mini-series as well as a 7th, or in the number 1 spot. I remember I found a Rambo and Force of Freedom tape. It was the mini-series tape, the first 5 episodes, in Sutton, at this tiny little video store in Sutton, where my dad moved. And I remember finding that tape, and that was pretty much my my introduction to Rambo and the Force of Freedom. I would just watch that over and over and over. And I saw a couple episodes here and there. I'm pretty sure actually I saw most or more of them than I led myself on to believe. But we didn't have many of them on TV, so it would be like a lot of time like watching the French dubbed versions and stuff like that here on TV. But I remember having that tape and just re-renting it and watching it until the tape fucking snapped and broke. And that was such a great tape. I freshened up watching more episodes on YouTube, believe it or not. But to get through all 65, I just didn't have the time. Maybe in the future we'll revisit the Force of Freedom and actually check them all out. And I may have messed up the DVD name for Volume 6. It's Face of Freedom, not Force of Freedom. The first volume has 11 episodes, came out June 14th, 2005. The second volume has 11 episodes, came out June 14th, 2005. Same day. Volume 3 had 10 episodes, released on September 13th as well. Volume 4 had 11 episodes and was released on September 13th, 2005. The 5th volume was released on December 13th and had 11 episodes. And finally, the 6th volume had 11 episodes and came out as well on December 13th, 2005. Merchandising-wise, Rambo and the Force of Freedom also spawned a line of toys, which we have talked about before. As with the majority of older series, the Rambo toy line lasted longer than the television series itself. It really did, like the commercials and everything. It just bam, bam, bam went on and on. They even have a bit of it in the documentary for Rambo 2, where the kid's playing with the toys and the little girl, and she's like, "I got to win this time." So some great stuff here regarding the merchandising. They must have made a mint on this fucking thing, like shit. Wow. And like I said, we'll get to the later incarnations of the toys later on, because that's just an episode in itself with all the NECA and the 1/3 scale, and I would like to have Raphael Robledo Jr. maybe on to talk about that. All the exact Stallone replicas and stuff like that. So, some of the controversy regarding the show was that Rambo was the first R-rated film property, the first to be given a treatment for a children's cartoon show. And the cartoon generated like a mild controversy at the production studio, with writers wondering how they could, present a child-friendly main character who was created as a troubled Vietnam War veteran suffering from, post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. And the show's child psychology advisors believe that the target audience, was to be like young children and preteens, and that they would not grasp that aspect of David Morrell's, character, or very, I don't even know what the word is to call him, but David Morrell's character, you could only call him Rambo, because the way of thinking there is only Rambo could do. Only David Morrell could tell that, because he's just so brilliant. They recommended that, the cartoon not make any references to Vietnam whatsoever. No prisoners of war, no POWs, or Rambo's experiences in the smash hit 1982's First Blood, and the sequel from 1985, Rambo First Blood Part 2. So, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the overview for Rambo and the Force of Freedom. And I guess it's time we get to those episodes. We're going to close it off right, close it off with the episodes. So thank you for making it to this point. But now it's the fun part. Now it's the fun part. So, is there anything I want to add before we move on? Just that this show was great. And the toy line that came off of this was even better. Just so many cool memories of the toys and everything like that. So let's get into some nostalgia here and talk the breakdown of the individual episodes. Alright. So let's take a look at the episode synopsis list for Rambo and the Force of Freedom, the animated series as a whole. So, first, I guess when the series premiered, there was a mini-series, a 5-part mini-series for the first 5 episodes. So the first episode, ironically enough, is titled First Strike. So it says that Savage arrives in the country of Tierra Libre in a plot to conquer it. And that follows up with episode 2 of the 5-parter called The Angel of Destruction, where a warplane called the Spectre gets stolen by Savage in their plot to take over Tierra Libre. Battlefield Bronx is episode 3. Actually, you know what? I should give you the air dates. First Strike air date is the 14th of April, 1986. Episode 2, The Angel of Destruction, is the 15th of April, 1986. And Battlefield Bronx Episode 3 is on the 16th of April, 1986. So I guess they were kind of marathoning this one. It says here that General Warhawk sends Mad Dog to capture the daughter of Tierra Libre's president, during his visit to the United Nations. And then that continues in episode 4, Rise of Yamato, which appeared on TV on the 17th of April, 1986, where General Warhawk raises the battleship Yamato in his latest plot to take over Tierra Libre. So I guess since they're thwarted many a time, they're pretty persistent. And, we can understand why the one-man army himself, Rambo, would be sent in to deal with this. So episode 5, The Taking of Tierra Libre, is the culmination point of this. And it appeared on the 18th of April, 1986. Savage, and that's abbreviated, S.A.V.A.G.E, plots to dispose of Rambo and Colonel Troutman, so that they would be out of their way for them to take over Tierra Libre. So I guess it's the last stand. And it's very, very fascinating. So that's how the first mini-series plays out, which eventually evolves into the regular series. Now we're going to take a look at episode 6, Subterranean Holdup, which aired on the 15th of September 1986. General Warhawk's latest plan is to steal the solid gold stamps from Chicago's Federal Reserve Bank to print out U.S. currency so he could print his own money. It is up to Rambo to prevent Savage from stealing the solid gold stamps. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Dealing with very advanced topics for children, you know. And episode 7, Trouble in Tibet, which aired on the 16th of September 1986. General Warhawk and Sergeant Havoc capture a young monk who would become the next Dalai Lama and gains control of a small village in Tibet. Fascinating here. Fascinating. Now we're going to move on to episode 8, Savage Island, which debuted on the 17th of September 1986. Back in the good old days when they had, you know, pretty much an episode every day, year round, you know what I'm saying? Very few, what do you call that, reruns in those days. And volumes upon volumes, you know, for the box set release. You know, we're not dealing with you know, like 24 episode straight that we would be dealing with now. In those days, it was many episodes, like volumes upon volumes. Just take a look at the Masters of the Universe Season 1 volume. Is like huge, the size of Grayskull itself. Anyway, so episode 8, Savage Island, 17th of September 1986. Gripper steals the Pandora missile that was meant for the Carlisle Islands in order for Savage to force Carlisle's Indonesian neighbors to surrender. Very wicked, evil people here. And we're moving on to episode 9, which debuted on the 18th of September 1986, General Warhawk's Curse. So this one goes down under the orders of General Warhawk, Sergeant Havoc and Gripper, and Nomad, and an ally named Bashir take advantage of 3 countries by passing off fake curses in Savage's plot to steal the artifacts in the ruins. Imagine that. They will stop at nothing. So now we're going to move on to episode 10, Deadly Keep, which aired September 19th, 1986. Nobel Prize winning physicist Herbert Kensington is kidnapped by the Count, a descendant himself of Vlad III, the Impaler, and plans to hand him over to Savage in the Moldavian mountains. Wow. General Warhawk plans to use Herbert in a plot to use neutron fusion energy for world domination. Wow, wow, wow. Indeed, very advanced topics for children here. Herbert just reminds me of Sherbert and Sherbert Mountain from Mario every time I hear it. Episode 11, Beneath the Streets, which aired the 22nd of September 1986. Mad Dog enters the sewers beneath the Special Forces building and places a bomb there while encountering Rambo's war buddy named Wrongway. Upon rescuing Wrongway, Rambo ends up stumbling upon Mad Dog and General Warhawk's plot to plant a bomb underneath the White House. Oh my God. I guess, you know, Reagan must have loved that episode. Episode 12, Cult of the Cobra, 23 September 1986. I don't think this is a G.I. Joe spinoff, and I don't think it's a Marion Cobretti adventure. But this is what it says. General Warhawk teams up with the Cult of the Cobra and its leader, Rama, to halt the food shipments to the Indian province of Assam, in a plot to force the people of Assam to make him their dictator. God damn. Son of a bitch, Warhawk. He kind of reminds me of like Podolsky with a fucking horseshoe. And the other one there, Havoc kind of reminds me of like Yushin a bit. Anyway,